Oh no, we did not see you there. We were just conversing about the colonization of Mars.
What a preposterous idea. Another giant leap for mankind, I suppose.
That giant leap could very well be an ideal habitat for human life, because of considerable similarities to Earth. Mars' oxygen levels are the main prohibitor for colonization, but ideally the climate is able to be worked with. Also, the Red Planet may have great material resources, like iron and aluminum. Many companies have proposed their plan for some form of colonization, such as Mars One, SpaceX, and NASA.
The crew, carefully chosen by a screening process specific to the company, will venture to Mars on a one-way trip and establish a human settlement. It would take a lifetime commitment, the journey taking 40 days to get there, and the rest of their lives to develop a colony.
Yet, there are many questions that arise from this undertaking, such as, is it necessary? Is it justified? Do we really need to go colonize a different planet? It all falls back to the intentions of the venture.
But what could be their intention for such a bold endeavor? And what could possibly be an acceptable intention for this journey?
Precisely. So we must ask, to what extent do intentions justify actions? Let's decipher this question. First off, intentions are defined as, according to Merriam-Webster, the determination to act in a certain way.
Merriam-Webster also defines the word justify as to prove or to show to be just, right, or reasonable. So therefore, we must find an answer to the question, what determination to act in a certain way proves to be right or just?
Now, that is quite difficult to explain. You see, depending on the society, there is a multitude of rights and wrongs. Since Mars is an international project, how do companies possibly include all everyone's beliefs and morals and whether it is justified or not?
Let's talk about that. First off, morals are a person's standard for behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. There are common morals widespread throughout humanity, but usually a society have very unique moral codes. They are just dependent on the society's personal expectations.
How can we then determine if something is universally morally acceptable, if societal morals are different worldwide? The only way would be to narrow down a set of universal values that would apply to everyone.
And that, my friend, is when we may define good and bad, and right and wrong.
Precisely. What does good mean? We must understand this to inherently understand what intentions are good.
Doing something good could possibly entail benefits for all the people involved in a situation. As well, this could mean how a person portrays their intentions to a group of people affected. Thus, we may say integrity is appropriate to convey justification for an action, especially on such a global scale.
So if we take that claim and think of it logically, what could this mean to be so forthcoming and benevolent? Implications. I dare say it would mean people could feel they trust your action, or at least prepare for such an event, which in case of colonizing Mars, integrity and credibility of the mission overall will induce a better outcome from the public, and in turn give more support to the mission.
Which support, on such a global scale, may make intentions good. Because the expectations of all humanity inspire the production of a good outcome.
This seems to be some form of global supported peer pressure. Individuals will deliver a better outcome when they know that all of humanity is cheering them on, so to speak.
We are, of course, talking about the Mars mission. We know by deductive reasoning that the ambassadors to Mars will represent all of humanity with good intentions due to the fact that the world is depending on them.
So what are good intentions? Overall, we have talked about the implications of the words good and right. But now we must transfer this information to our overarching question. To what extent do intentions justify the action?
You're absolutely correct, Colin. We studied this question for a while now, but now we must delve into its vastness. Let's begin. As we said before, good, in the sense of an action, is only so if everyone benefits from the action. If we relate that to good intentions, it would mean that there is a perceived benefit for everyone before an action takes place.
Exactly. But this implies that the perceived benefit could not actually happen. As well, the potential benefit is left up to the one who generates the intentions. So the benefit could not even have value at all. Not even for everyone. Thus, this counter could actually be an exceptional argument against our former postulate.
So what you speak of simply means the person who states the intention is in control of the benefit of the action, and in turn, the benefit may not actually help all the people involved.
Precisely. For example, the concept of manifest destiny, which was mostly beneficial for the white pioneers claiming the land for their families and for the spread of civilization. Now this sounds good, but in reality it took land and resources from the indigenous people who lived there first.
I like this land. I'm gonna keep it.
The intentions of the pioneers might have been good in the sense that it was for their families and for the spread of civilization and whatnot. But the ends don't justify the means, since the ends involve taking land and resources away from other humans. This brings us to the conclusion that intentions and actions are bad if they take away from others.
While we're on the topic of bad intentions and that of manifest destiny, it may be claimed that bad intentions can be stemmed from actions of glory, like the Spanish conquistadors discovering the Americas for the glory of Spain. While Spain benefited greatly from these explorations, the indigenous people who lived there, once again, are exploited by being enslaved to mine gold.
Me gusta esta tarea. Voy a conquistarlo.
This real-life situation suggests that glory is inherently bad, as a justification for intentions. But that is not entirely true. Glory is only bad if it negatively affects other people, and we know this to be true because of ethical reasoning, in the sense that exploiting people is wrong.
As if to say, a person who intends glory as the main benefit for everyone is actually no benefit at all. And it even leaves the person up to do whatever they wish with their findings. In the case of Christopher Columbus, his benefit of glory enslaved the indigenous people. A possible counterclaim could be that Columbus gained much gold for his country, whereas some instances of glory-fueled endeavors yielded absolutely no benefit at all, besides that of glory.
Did you just say the space race to the moon?
Sure.
Absolutely. This space race between the Soviets and Americans was full of glory and ambition, but there was absolutely no outcome for science or resources. We just strived to be the first ones there, and the scientific information gained from the endeavor had already been present or would be present in a matter of a few years. Thus, glory in a sense of intentions may not benefit anyone at all, making glory an awful reason to justify an action.
Let's relate this all back to Mars. So the intentions of the companies attempting to go to Mars are to establish a permanent human settlement. They all also want to have the glory of having another giant leap for mankind by making humans the first multiplanetary species.
However, the glory is not the main intention of the endeavor, and it does not harm anyone, so the intentions are still justified. The main intention for going is to start a colony. So, overall, companies advocating for the colonization of Mars with the benefit for human population seem to be on the right track with good intentions.
Therefore, the world is safe from exploitation.
For now!